Hey everybody, it's Tony the Blacksmithing Gamer, and here we do everything from blacksmithing to 3D printing to bring the things inside the video games into the real world. This week we are making the Techno Sword from Narita Boy. Let's get started. I'll show you how we made it. Alrighty, so we got the first pieces of the Techno Sword from Narita Boy printing in here. So the first pieces of the blade came finished. Unfortunately, the second ones didn't finish printing properly. It actually got snagged on the 3D printer and it got tore off. So I'm gonna try to figure out how long it'll take to reprint everything and start that process. So here's the game plan. We have 3 places to put 3 lights. These just so happen to be the same as, so these are the same as the sword. So I'm just testing it out using my DC power supply. So the problem here is they are hooked up in series. Let's hook them up in parallel. Alright, so now they're all hooked up in parallel. Let's see how they do. Oh. So here's the other problem. When they're hooked up in parallel, the blue diode takes a lot more to light up than the red and the yellow. So we're going to have to put resistors on these two so that they have the same draw as the blue one. So I'll explain this a little bit more at the end, but what I ended up doing is I had a few strings of LEDs that were connected via USB, and I ended up taking those, trimming them to length, folding them over, and inserting them into the blade of the sword. So this part of the hilt, I think, would have been better off just leaving it all open, opposed to trying to leave spaces for everything to be routed, because it didn't line up perfectly anyway. In case you didn't know, these are the USB connections that I had for the LED strings that are in here. And so, you know, it was easier just to twist tie them all together in a bundle and get them all routed in here. I had to cut open the end here so I could actually have a spot to actually put everything in. Not the prettiest, but I think it will be covered up quite nicely once the other piece is on. I think I still have to work on some of the clearance in here, but once that's all together, it'll pretty much be ready to go. Okay, so I got the old glue gun out, let it warm up. I'm going to get the LEDs into place and glue them down. It's going to be a little bit less permanent than I would normally use with the two-part epoxy. That's because I'm not entirely sure of the clearances on the handle yet. So this will just keep them in place, and then once I have everything 110%, then I'll probably use some epoxy just to make everything 100%, so that it doesn't come apart ever. So let's fill in the gaps with this guy. It isn't pretty, but I'll trim all that extra off. I just wanted to fill the gap, actually. So a few things about the Narita Boy sword here. I do have, well, the USB cords coming out of the back here. They are for the 3 strings of LED lights that are in the sword. Hopefully you can see that okay on camera there. Obviously it's better to see at night. So just to explain a few things in terms of ideas that I had about this guy. Initially I was thinking I was going to make all the circuitry for the inner workings, and I was going to use some plexiglass to shoot the light up the blade. The idea was to have 3 LEDs at the bottom that shot their light up into pre-cut plexiglass sections that were inside the blade here. I found out the plexiglass is hard to cut by hand, and I didn't have the proper blade to do it, so I just kind of abandoned that idea. But I did have these string LED lights, so I used those instead. The inner workings were a little bit different because of that, and that's why I'm using the wiring down here. Obviously you could clean it up, you could hook it up to a battery pack, you can plug it in. It really doesn't matter how you have it, but yeah, just so you know what the plan was with the lights. You know, I had the plexiglass idea, I had a few other ideas, but obviously we ended up going with the LED strings. So I 3D printed this in 1, 2 for the handle, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts for the actual blade. It came out really nice. I really like how this turned out. It's a simple design. It's kind of has a Minecraft aesthetic, but obviously I haven't played the game yet. I have it sitting on my Xbox right now, so hopefully I'll be playing that later today, and I'll actually check out what the story is all about and everything else. So it just came out for Xbox Game Pass. If you have that, you might want to try it out, or if you feel free to try it on any of the other platforms as well. I actually got contacted by Team 17 about making this sword for them, so you know, check out Team 17, and they make a lot of great games. I started a while ago with the Worms games. You know, when I was a kid, I was playing the Worms games. That was my first introduction to Team 17. Obviously, I've played plenty of games since then. The Overcooked series, my wife and I have played plenty of that, but Narita Boy looks like a interesting experience. Very different from all those, but if you've liked Team 17 stuff in the past, give it a go. I don't know the whole history of the Techno Sword just yet, but stay tuned. I'll probably be uploading the Let's Play on the every Wednesday. We upload our Let's Plays, and every Sunday we have a build. So thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button down there below. Or if you want to follow me on any of these social media websites, you can get daily updates on the projects I'm working on. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tony, the Blacksmithing Gamer, where every week we're making things from the games we love.